This is Investor Central Property Hunt. My name is Sarah Hadi. Thanks for joining us this week on this program. Now this week we're toning it down a little bit and talking in studio to Mr. Kumar Tharmalingam, the CEO of Malaysia Property Incorporated. He's going to give us his views of the projections of the Malaysian market in the near future, what is happening right now, and exactly what is MPI doing in Singapore.
We are worried about the crisis in the West, and we are afraid that there might be some spillover effects because it's QE2 in the US plus lots of fund activities in Europe. Some of the money will be flowing elsewhere, coming to Asia, and we could have imported inflation because of that. So the government has introduced, for example, loan-to-value ratio. They've said reduced it to 70% for the third property. That means traditionally Malaysians can pay 10% and get a 90% loan. Now the government has said that if it's the third property purchase, the loan can only be 70%.
I see.
Also, last week the government introduced or talked about introducing assessment of loan limits based on net income and not on gross income. Now, our income tax for the top end is 25%. Probably doesn't affect the top end of the market, but the middle income market, the moment you make the income levels for determination of a loan amount or net income, they could lose as much as 15% of their loan allocation, which means they have to pay more money, more deposits, to compensate for the difference. The other initiative is we are pushing very hard on the green initiative, making commercial buildings, residential buildings, and even industrial buildings have carbon neutral stands. Now, there is a green building law in Malaysia where there are tax benefits if you initiate a building into a green platform. So in the interim period, it's a moving target. The government keeps on introducing small little, what I call adjustments to compensate for the possible impairment of our currency and our stability because of what's happening elsewhere.
So are you worried, basically, for the Malaysian market?
We did not suffer any impairment during the 1998 financial crisis. It actually bypassed us completely. Malaysia was not affected at all because of Bank Negara. Central Bank of Malaysia did not allow any subprime products to be sold in Malaysia. The simple rule was, if you wish to sell a derivative in Malaysia, you need to define who the ultimate borrower was. And since none of the subprime derivatives could know who the ultimate borrower was because they were, they have been diced and sliced so many times over the years, our Bank Negara said you cannot sell them in Malaysia. So there were no Malaysian banks affected, there were no Malaysian financial institutions affected. And again, after the 1997 financial crisis, Malaysian banks had recapitalized and they're in a very strong position today. So much so that they're able to lend for real estate at very affordable rates and at very large premiums, at very large amounts, up to 90%. And if you're buying an affordable home, you can even borrow 100% based on how old you are and what your income is.